Good morning. Good morning. I have on my Christmas overalls this morning. I'm trying to put myself in the spirit. I've I woke up in a weird mood. Like I'm just like bleh. Do I ever do that? I just feel I don't know. We're gonna let Facebook join. You want to hear this? So Diane always reminds me to turn my Apple or to put my Apple Watch on. Well, my old Apple Watch would not charge. And I was devastated. I count steps and I am like a fanatic about counting steps. Okay. I'm going to make sure I get my 10,000 steps in every single day. So I tried to charge it. It wouldn't charge. I switched plugs. It wouldn't charge. I went and got a new Apple Watch charger. It wouldn't charge. I was like, oh my God, my Apple. And it's like 3 years old. So I was like, oh, well, I guess it's time to get a new Apple Watch. And I told Shane, I was like, the last thing I need to do is be spending money on an Apple Watch here at Christmas. But I did because I was like, my Apple Watch is important to me. So I went and got a new Apple Watch. I showed you I have a chicken on it. It's the cutest thing ever. Isn't that cute? Watch it. It like moves around. Anyway, so I got my new Apple Watch and I was like, okay, I'm going to buy it for myself. I know that I shouldn't be buying myself Christmas presents, but this is my Christmas present to myself. I don't know. And so I got home and the next day, my Apple Watch is on. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I just went and I just went and bought a brand new Apple Watch and now my Apple Watch is working. And I'm like, what? Am I too jumpy? Like, I was thinking, and I told you guys too that in the middle of my field trip Thursday, my brand new coffee maker, my Keurig coffee maker just quit. Well, I bought it in August. I did not open the package until like November. Well, I've only used the Keurig a couple of times and it just quit working. I tried a different plug. Shane looked at it. Shane took it apart and thought it was a fuse. And he was like, it's not working. So I went on Amazon and it told me that I couldn't take it back because it'd been too long. And I was like, really? So then I reached out to Keurig. I'm like, surely someone cares. I spent $167 on this nice white Keurig. So I reached out to Keurig. They were so nice to me. And they said, we will do a warranty claim. I was like, great. Okay, they're going to replace my Keurig. Then I get a message from Keurig that says, we will not replace it because you bought it used. I was like, did Amazon send me a used Keurig? Like, surely not. And so then I told Shane, I said, I feel like just crying right now. And he was like, what's wrong, Judy? I said, well, I spent $167 on a Keurig, and now I've got to go buy another one. So that's another $200 that I'm going to have to spend on coffee makers here at Christmas. And I didn't plan this. And I was so mad. But I just swallowed it and was like, it is what it is. So I went to Walmart and I bought one, and I went live. I bought one that has a coffee pot and a Keurig. And I thought, well, this is nicer and it's cheaper. It was $99. And I was like, I'll just get this. I get it home. I set it up. I make sure it works. I throw the box away, blah, blah, blah. And then like 2 days later, I get a message from Keurig that they're sending me a new Keurig. I feel like I jumped too fast. I jumped too fast with my Apple Watch. I jumped too fast with the coffee maker. And I'm like, what could I do differently? But in my brain, I was like, I have to have a coffee maker before Saturday because Saturday is my Christmas event. And I'm like, Judy, you just move too fast. You need to slow the crap down because you are making bad decisions because you literally move too fast. Do y'all ever do that? I'm just throwing this hair up because it's raining. And today I have to go to my son's house, let his animals out. I've been doing that since Friday. Today's my last day. So I got to go out. I got soaking wet yesterday letting his dogs out. And I'm like, I ain't fixing this nappy head of mine. I'm just going to have Cynthia hair. Okay. If you don't know what Cynthia hair is, I don't know, probably a year ago, this lady on YouTube, her name was Cynthia. I don't think she follows me anymore, but she basically kept calling me out on having cheesy hair. Okay. She was just like, you should not be filming with your hair looking like that. And it was in the middle of the summer where I'm like, Cynthia, baby girl, let me just tell you, I'm sweating my off. Okay. I am out here sweating my butt off. My hair is not greasy, it's sweat. And so she would not stop commenting about my nappy hair. And so I just decided to call my hair after. When I'm having a bad hair day, I just call it a Cynthia hair. And so today is a Cynthia hair day. She would die if she saw my hair right now, but I don't think she likes me anymore. And I thought, I don't think I'm the page that you need to follow because I am a farm and my animals eat my hair and I'm in poop every day and I'm going to look like a cheese ball because I have a farm. Maybe you need to follow somebody else because if my hair is bothering you, I'm probably not your girl. Probably not. So that's why I say I'm having a Cynthia hair. Okay. Today is going to be a hard subject. A hard subject that, but you know me, I will talk about hard things. I will talk about them. I will break them down. Did you grab your protein shakes? Because we're going to need them. Did y'all take your Celtic salt? Let's take our Celtic salt. Okay. I'm going to be straight up and real today. I am going to talk about how jacked up our world is when it comes to racism. This is not a subject that's very sensitive to people. It can cause a lot of controversy. It can cause a lot of people to have opinions, and some agree, some disagree. It's almost like talking about politics. You know how you just don't talk about politics because people get in a fist fight. Talking about the disconnect, the divide in our world between races, the whites and the blacks. And I'm going to tell you where the subject came from and why I'm talking about it. I feel led to talk about it. So if you don't agree with me, it's okay. I'm just speaking from my heart. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. And let me just get to the subject. All right. So my youngest son is, I feel like he should be a lawyer, honestly. He will get in a debate in 0.2 seconds. And if it's something that he believes in, he will go to battle. Okay? And he will try to get everyone around him to think like him. He's he's very he doesn't understand people that don't think like him. And so over he knows how I was raised. I wasn't raised to not like Black people. I was raised that you better not bring a Black boy home or you're going to get your butt whooped. Like, that's how I was raised. It's terrible. But that's the generation I grew up in. Is there was not a lot of interracial relationships that were out and seen, because if you were, you got stared at or you got made fun of, or and really my parents, what they said to me was, I can't remember who said it, but I just remember that I was brought up that if you date someone out of your race, then the white guys are not going to like you. That's what I was taught. As wrong as it is, that's what I was taught. Well, when you have children that don't think like you, that weren't like, let me back up. When you have children, like, for example, if you are like the kind of person that would like go, oh, addiction, my kids will never do that. Like, how, like, like if you're venting to someone and you're like, oh, my kids will never do that. Those parents, I'm talking about. Oh, I'll whoop their tail. They will not act that way, and they won't do that. And it's like, oh, you're fixing it. Those are parents that have 2-year-olds, but parents that have raised children, you're like, oh, girl, you do not understand. When they become teenagers, they become their own person, and everything that you taught them goes literally out the door, and it's like that the rest of your life. Like, they form their own opinions. Like, when your kids are young, you can ground them, you can take their phones away. But like when they get in the car and they get on their own, it's just like, wait a minute, my son is drinking. Are you kidding me? We don't drink in our house. Like, where do they get that from? And then you're like, it's just like they just get minds of their own. And so my son, and I have said this before on my lives. I have said this before. And this is not something I'm proud of. Do you hear me? I am not proud that I did this. But my son, I think he was in middle school. He came home. No. Now I remember. My oldest son said, Mother, did you see Vanson's profile picture on Facebook? And I'm like, no. And he was like, Mom, he is dating a Black girl. And I was like, are you serious? And he was like, yes. This is something I'm not proud of. So I set him down and I had a talk with him. And I said, who's this girl that you're dating? And he begins to tell me. And her parents are mad that she's dating a white guy. And we are upset that that Vanson is dating a Black girl. So both parents don't like this, okay? And the kids are caught in the middle. So I begin and Vanson's like, why are you going crazy over this? Like, why? I don't understand, because this is my debate kid, right? This is my son that's going to fight with me, okay? And so I said, I don't feel like it's fair to the children. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, let's just say you and her got married. I mean, is the kid white or is the kid black? I feel like it's not fair to, like, when your child goes to fill out an application and it asks, your race, they don't know if they're white or black. I mean, I really don't know how do you do that? How do you determine your race? Because mixed is not on there. It's white, black, or Caucasian, black, whatever. It doesn't. So I told him I felt like it wasn't fair to the child to do that. And I made him break up with her. He probably hates me to this day over that. As Vanson grew up, Vanson became an advocate for Black rights. He will go to battle, and he has taught me to change my ways. As a matter of fact, the whole thing that I teach here at Sneed's Farmhouse about discrimination, I have to say that a lot of it came from my son, because most parents teach their children, right? Well, as I had children, my children have taught me differently, because a lot of times we are who we are because of the way we were raised. A lot of us don't form our own. Have you ever just stopped and go, why do I think that? And you're like, oh, mom and dad taught me that. But you didn't form your own opinion. Me too. I was the same way. I was just like, why do I think that way? Like, I think it's because I don't know any better. Mom and dad, they didn't let me form my own opinion. That's just, you don't bring home a black guy, period. And so, my son is not like that. My son is not like that. My son is like, Mom, you're awful. And I'm like, no, I'm not. He's like, you discriminate. No, I don't. No, I do not. I've had friends that are black. Like, why do you say that? And he was like, oh, Mom, you're awful. Basically, he ripped me a new one and told me like it was. And I'm the type of person, I break it down. Y'all know this. So I stepped away and I was like, I need to break this down. I am terrible. I may not be able to put my makeup on because I'll cry today, but I'm like, I am the worst person ever. Why did I do that to my child? Why did I say that to him? Where did this come from? Why am I like this? And I realized it's because I'm a robot. I did what Mama and Daddy did. I'm a robot. I don't want to be that way. I may have to stop putting my makeup on. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be the person that how I was raised. I don't want to be like my ancestors. I do not want to be that way. And I'm so thankful for my son bringing it to my attention, because I didn't realize I was that way. So as my son has grown up, he's been in 2 relationships, and both relationships were with a black guy. So where I was raised, you do not be gay. If you're gay, you're going to get the crap beat out of you. Do you understand me? Of course, I never had those tendencies, so that was not a big deal to me. But I was raised, you don't do this. You will go to hell. Um, you will get your, you will, people won't hang out with you if you're gay. People, you don't hang out with gay people. You don't do that. That's how I was taught. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Until you become a parent and you're faced with different things that you believe, your thought process changes. Because as a parent, when you have a child that's a gay, or you have a child that wants to change their gender, or you have a child that wants to be in a relationship other than the race they are, your brain changes. Because what happens is you watch your child go through the bull crap that they have to go through for being who they are. It is awful. And then all of a sudden, you realize, but how are you? What do you think? And then all of a sudden, when your child, when the world, let's just say, is telling you that gay people are going to hell, interracial people should be ashamed of themselves. When people attack and you have a child like that, Mama Bear will come out. I've said this before. I will go to battle for my child. I am their biggest cheerleader. I will protect them, and I will elbow people out of the way and go, don't ever hurt my child. And recently, when God, I need a snot rag. When we moved to Coleman, Vanson was like, Mom, you're moving to a sundown town. I didn't know what that meant. I was like, what the crap are you talking about? And he was like, Mom, you don't know. Google it, Mom. Google it. And I'm like, okay, and I'm looking, I'm reading, and it's telling me that basically Black people are not allowed in our town after dark. And I'm like, what? Okay, I realize I'm green or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what you want to say, but like, I've never heard of that. I didn't even know that existed. Okay. And so I'm reading, I'm like, Vanson, this is not true. This is not true. And Vanson is like, I will not go to Coleman. I'm not accepted in Coleman. And I'm like, that is not true. That is not true. And so nothing else has been said about it until recently. And what's happened is, if you're not on TikTok, you probably don't know, but on TikTok, Coleman, my town, is going viral. And the reason it's going viral is because we are considered a sundown town. And what's happening is we have this crystal candle mark. It's this huge, beautiful German Christmas town. It is like, I think it's the third in the country. Like, it's so nice. We have a Ferris wheel and we have an ice skating rink, and people come from all over to come to this. And it's our second year of having it. Well, what's happening on TikTok is Coleman's coming viral because they're saying that the Black people are not allowed at the Crystal Kingdom Mart because we are a sundown town. Well, Vanson calls me on the phone. Told you, Mom. You don't believe me? You're living in a sundown town. And I got mad. I'm not going to lie. I got mad that he was saying, I'm like, it's not the truth. It's not the truth. I live here. I've lived here for 6 years. That is not the truth. Because Vanson feels like he is not accepted in my town. And he feels like he's not accepted because he's gay. And he's not going anywhere that a Black person's not allowed. He's not doing that. Okay. He's not going to the Chris Kendall Mark. He's not going to do it. If everyone is not allowed there, he is not going. I don't believe it's true. So you know how in the beginning of this video, I said, sometimes I just jump without thinking and I go and buy a new Apple Watch, or I go and buy a new coffee maker. Well, as soon as he got off the phone with me, I did a video. Because I'm mad. First of all, I'm Sneed's Farmhouse. I'm in Coleman. I have had all Black schools. As a matter of fact, this one school is basically all Black. They're on their 4th field trip with me. And they just booked another one. They're my favorite school, okay? At Sneed's Farmhouse, I am not discriminating, okay? Black people are allowed at my farm. And so when he called me and said, told you that you're living in, I'm like, I'm fixing to stand up for Black people. And I did a video and I said, it is not true. I am Sneed's Farmhouse. I live in Coleman, Alabama. Black people are welcome to my farm. And it breaks my heart that this town is considered that. Well, I thought I did the right thing. And then Vanson calls and says, you need to take that video down now. It's fixing to go viral, Mom, and you're fixing to get the crap beat out of you. And I'm like, Vanson, I don't give 2 craps. I have been on social media long enough, and I don't care what anyone thinks. I am a rock, and I'm standing up for what I believe. So I left it up. And I wouldn't say it's gone viral, but it's got, let's see how many. It's got about 70,000 views on it, and it has a lot of there's a lot of rumors. There's a lot of being a sundown hang on city. Well, I have 2,309 comments, and most are ripping me a new one. So my son was right. They're ripping these. It's mostly Black people are ripping me a new one. And so Saturday, I was going to my son's and I read the comments and I just start crying. I'm like, what is wrong with our stupid world? And I'm reading these comments and people are like, of course you're saying that Coleman is not a sundown because you're white. And I'm like, I'm just reading them. I'm like, okay, so my son was right. They're ripping me a new one. They're mad at me for saying that. And I'm like, they're mad at me for saying that Black people are welcome to my farm? Like, what did I do wrong? So then I had to go back. You know me. I had to go, stop. Let's break it down. What did you say? So when I broke it down, the first thing that went wrong is my video is in anger. That's the first thing. My tone was wrong because I was mad when my son was calling me, telling me that my town was a sundown town. I was mad. So immediately I do a video and my tone is off the charts. It's terrible. And I'm like, everyone's saying that Coleman's a sundown town. Well, let me just tell you who I am. I'm Sneed's Farmhouse, and here at my farm, everyone's welcome. As a matter of fact, I teach against discrimination. My tone is terrible. And I'm like, none of these people know who their Aunt Judy is. They all think I'm a train wreck. And watching that video, I'm like, I see their point of view. So then I did another video with the right tone. I changed my tone. And I said, I'm sorry if I came across, I don't remember what I said. I'm sorry if I came across as a know-it-all. As a matter of fact, I sit here and say that Coleman is not a sundown town, but you're right, I'm white. So then I took a step back and I'm like, do I live in a town that doesn't allow Black people? Do I really live in a town like that? So when I was breaking things down, I was thinking really, really hard about what was happening. And I'm like, Judy, would you go in the dark in the middle of a town that's all Black? Would you go walk the streets? Would you be treated differently? And I'm like, crap, no, I'm not walking. Like, I'd get killed. I'm not walking, in an all Black community, me and my white self with red hair walking down the street. They'd kill me. That's what I was thinking in my head. So then that broke my heart again. I was like, wow, this world is really janked up. This world is janked up. How do we fix this? And I started going, this is how deep I'm going with this. I'm like, Martin Luther King, he had a dream. Okay, I need to go do my research because apparently in high school, I wasn't present in history class because I was like, who is Martin? I mean, I know who he is. I know what he looks like, but what was he? Like, how did he stand up and did the speech and talk about our world being divided? How did he do that? How can I do that? How can I stand up and say, this world is effed up? I don't even say the F word, but our world is effed up. There's no sense why I can't be in a Black community, and there's no sense why a Black person can't be in the white community. This is stupid. This is stupid. And I'm just like, obviously, I'm a peon, and there's no way I can change the world. I mean, do I look like I can change the world? No, I cannot change the world. As a matter of fact, there's only 100 people on here right now. So only 100 people are listening to me. I realize people catch the replay. They do. It's pouring down raining. But let's just say 1,000 people listen to this. Well, 1,000 people out of the whole wide world. So can I change the world? No, I'm a peon. Man, it is absolutely pouring. So what do we do, y'all? So I thought, you know what? I'm not big enough to change the world, but maybe I can open my mouth and someone will listen. If one person listens to me, if I make a difference in one person's life, that's all that matters. And you know what? It's made a difference in my life. Maybe that's what it was supposed to be. But I'm just like, who gives a crap what color you are? Like, who cares? And then what's so bad was I posted a video of Georgia Lee, which had nothing to do with racism. And this Black guy, which is silly, but he attacked me. he attacked me and go, you need to keep posting what you're posting because what you're saying, just like attacking me. And I'm like, I said, stop, be kind. I love you. Please know my heart. But see, these people on TikTok don't know me. They don't know me. But I just feel like, and then I feel like as a white person, I feel like I say everything wrong. Like if I say a person of color, it's wrong. If I say black, it's wrong. Like what am I help me, teach me. If you're a black person, teach me what I'm supposed to say. I want to learn. I don't want to discriminate. Help me. I can't help the way I was brought up. I want to be different. But I don't understand the whole language of what I'm supposed to say. It's just like, how little people are offended by the word midget. Okay, you're not supposed to call a midget a midget. You're supposed to call them little people. It's discriminating if you say midget. Well, someone that's never been around little people, we don't know that is discriminating. It's the same thing with me. I'm white. I don't know what I'm supposed to be saying. I don't want to say, I know that the N word is terrible. I know that. I would never say that. But what am I like? If I say black person, if I say person of color, help me know how to not discriminate. I don't know the right wording. And it's like, it's like if someone calls us a cracker, I can remember in high school, people calling white people a cracker. It never offended me. I don't know. that doesn't offend me. But it's like, let's be friends. Let's learn how to unite. Let's learn how to be the right community. I worked so hard at Sneed's Farmhouse. God, I'm a big old crybaby today, but I worked so hard at Sneed's Farmhouse to educate. I bust my butt. Y'all see me? I bust my butt to educate every single child that comes in here, not to discriminate against color, not discriminate against language, disabilities, all these different things. I teach against this, and I'm like, it's not good enough. I'm still doing things wrong. And I'm like, help me, hold my hand, teach me what am I doing wrong? It's just like, and I think in my head, is Coleman really considered that? And then I was watching this video this morning of this black guy going, I'll go to the Crystal Kingdom Mark. I'll show y'all that it's not a sundown town. And so he went in there and everyone treated him kindly. Like it was not a big deal. Like people didn't look, oh my God, there's a black guy here. No one did that. He walked around and he got him a fried cheese sandwich and he no one, it's not like that. But then again, I'm not a black person. I can see where a black person would be intimidated to come into a white community at night because I broke it down. I'm like, okay, Judy, are you comfortable going to an all black party and walking in the door? No, I'm not comfortable either. So I can get in someone else's shoes and see the big picture. I can see that. I can see it. So I'm like, why is the world like that? Why? Like, why? It doesn't have to be that way. It does not. And I'm like, how do we change this? How do we? And these poor kids that grow up in this bull crap. It's just crap. And I'm just like, I know that both of my children, my oldest son is dating a girl that her dad's Mexican. Who gives a book? And no one cares. She's gorgeous. Who gives a freaking crap where they're from? I don't. And I just sit here and I think, but see, you got to understand, is not everyone thinks like me, right? Like, for example, Shane was brought up, in my era of time. So there is going to be a day where my son brings home a guy. There's going to be a day with it. And, who as a matter of fact, when my son was dating this guy, and I told you, it was a black guy. Listen, he won a cross country thing. I gave him money to congratulate him. I gave him a steak dinner for congratulating him because he won first place in the track. Like, I don't give two craps if my son is happy. And this is who my son chose for his future. I don't give two. I'm going to love him just like he's mine. And my other son, whoever he chooses for his wife, I'm going to love her. I don't care what color she is. I don't give two craps. If my son is happy, they're part of my family. And I will tell you right this minute, the person that doesn't come to acceptance or whatever you want to say to way my kids live their life, you know what? Na 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 na. Hey, 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 goodbye. I'm gonna sing that song because my children and whoever they choose is their life. I don't care. You see how I've had to change though? Back when my son was in middle school, I was like going, oh, no. But here I am. Now my son is 26 years old. And it took my son teaching me, Mom, that's terrible. What you did to me in middle school was freaking terrible. And I'm going to tell you something. I hate that I did that. I did it because, again, I was a robot. That's what Mom and Daddy taught me. That's what my grandparents taught me. I just never had an opinion of myself. And now that I have a son that goes against all the rules, it's amazing how your heart and your mind opens up to what is my opinion? Why do I think that way? Have you ever just sat down and go, why do I think the things that I think? Like if it's, let's just say, you sit here and you scroll through Facebook and this guy wants to be a girl and you're like, God, what is the world coming to, my Lord? The guys are wanting to be girls and they're wanting different pronouns in this world. Jesus needs to come back. Jesus needs to come back because this world is going ape crap. And it's like, sister, have you read the Bible? You read the Bible all the way through. And if the answer is no, then you have no idea what you're talking about. Go read the Bible. Go read what was happening in the Bible. Same old crap. And it's like you sit here and you say, oh God, this world is just, it's awful. God, the kids these days, elderly people like my age and up, I call myself elderly. Like we look at people in high school and we're like, oh, they're a train wreck. Oh, dear Jesus. They're just, they're having to get bathrooms, calling them, pretending like they're cats and all this crap. That's what we say. That's what we say. But let your grandchild or your niece or nephew or your child be one of those people that you're like, oh, this is a train wreck. Let one of your grandchildren go, grandmother, I want to sit you down. I'm fixing to change my gender. I'm fixing to be, I know I was born a woman, but I've had these tendencies my whole life. And I'm fixing to change it and become a man. And grandmother's like, Jesus needs to come back. Oh, dear Jesus. And then the more she goes through it, she's like, and you see the hurt and all that's involved with that person. I'm not saying that you come to, let's say, I've not personally gone through that, so I can't say what I would do. But I know that for myself, I can only speak for myself. But like when my son was young, I always saw the gay tendencies. So when he said he was gay, I wasn't like I was in total shock. I was like, I already know. And he was like, how do you know? I'm like, I'm your freaking mother. I know. I know. And just like I did with the interracial, I set him down. I pulled out the Bible. I said, do you know what Jesus says about gay people? I was bawling my eyes out when he said he was gay. I was literally losing it. I was like, you're going to go to hell. Oh my God. I'm just bawling. And he's looking at me. Oh God, I hate me. He's just looking at me like, really? And I'm like, yes, you're going to go to hell. Wow, I win Mom of the Year award, don't I? I probably have jacked my kid up so bad. Until you've gone through it, you don't understand. I'm trying to put on makeup and it's just not working. I'm just really sad. But there's so much judgment in the world. I'm going to tell you, every single person that's ever stepped foot on my farm, I've opened my arms and hugged them and loved. I tell these kids I love them. I will continue to allow anybody to my farm. I don't care what you believe. I don't care. I don't care. That's between you and God. It's none of my business what other people do with their lives. Like, it's none of my business. My job by God, my mission is to love. My mission is to go, you know what? I don't care. Let's go love on some animals. Let's forget about this world. Let's, like for example, like let me go find one of my favorite pictures. Oh my gosh, this family came to my farm And I'll tell you why they came to my farm. I'll tell you. It sounds like I'm tooting my own horn, but I'm just trying to show you what Steen's Farmhouse is all about. This person came to my farm because I gave a kid a free birthday party. This family I'm not going to go into details, but the birthday party was for free. Okay? I opened my farm free, and I have given many birthday parties for free. Okay? And this family came. Now, this wasn't the birthday kid, but this family came. These are my favorite pictures. Wait, this one child had such a connection to Skipper. It was like, oh my gosh. Let's see, where's it at? Where is that? Oh, this guy. This kid was a Skipper whisperer. Okay. Oh my gosh. Look, Skipper is kissing him on the lips. On the cheek. They came to my farm for a free birthday party. They came, it was one of the friends of the birthday kid. They came to my farm. They had never pet a cow before. And they sat me and that little boy by ourselves because I said, everyone, let me go one person at a time to Skipper. Because Skipper doesn't freak out. When she's crowded, she'll freak out. So me and this kid by ourselves. And he was sitting there going, she likes me. I'm like, she does. I said, when you're soft and gentle, I said, lay your head on Skipper. And he was laying his head on Skipper. I said, just lay there and be kind. If you're kind to an animal and you're not loud and they don't feel threatened by you, they'll let you do whatever they want, whatever you want. Lay on her. Sing her a song. This precious child sat there with Skipper and loved on her. As a matter of fact, he goes, after we walked away, he goes, can I go back to Skipper? I said, yes. So me and him walked back over there, and he sat there, and he like, just touch. I'm touching a real cow. I'm like, you are. You're laying on her. That is what my farm is about. And unfortunately, I didn't use the right words in my TikTok video to say what I meant. It got all janked up because I got offended that my hometown is a sundown town. I don't see that, but people are saying, Judy, you don't see it because you're white. So then again, I'm like, okay, let me read these comments. Let me back up and let me break it down. And the moment I backed up and broke it down, I was like, okay, let's you get in their shoes. Coleman is basically a small town. We're very small. Most people are white. We're country bumpkins. Now imagine what this person feels like that's black going into a white community at night. Now, Judy, you get in their shoes. Okay, you go to this all black town, this mostly black. You take your little redheaded self in there in the middle of the night by yourself and tell me how comfortable you feel. I'm like, oh. Well, isn't every town sundown town? Because I can't imagine doing that. I'd be scared to death. Why? Why are we like that? Why can't I go into a black community at night? And why can't a black person come into a white community at night? Why is our world so janked up? I hate it. I hate it. I hate every bit of it. And I wished, it's like, I wish that I had a following. Like, there's some creators, like if they said, I need every single one of y'all to go like this person's page. And every single one of their followers would do exactly what they say. Unfortunately, I'm not big enough. But if I say to you, listen to me, I want every one of you to love with your whole heart. Quit looking at color. Quit looking at disabilities. Quit looking at, oh my gosh, they're like this. Who gives a crap? Love with your whole heart. Where's my preaching stick? Hang on. I need to pull the preaching stick out. This calls for a bunch of them. I need you backup dancers to listen to me. Love with a whole heart. Quit looking at color. Quit looking at disabilities. Quit looking at their weaknesses. Quit looking at all of that. Love with a whole heart. As a matter of fact, in the Bible, it says, love thy neighbor as you love thyself. Love your neighbor. It is one of the 10 commandments in the Bible. If you think our teenagers are so janked up, go freaking read the Bible. I remember when I read the Bible all the way through, I came across this one chapter, and I can't remember what chapter it is. I've said it before, but it was where these two daughters got their dad drunk and had sex with them because they wanted to get pregnant. And that's in the Bible. That ain't janked up. If that hit the CNN news today, if that hit, two daughters got their dad drunk because they were so desperate to get pregnant that they had sex with their dad, that would hit the CNN news and everyone would be freaking out. What? Those girls are jacked up. And you're like, well, that's in the Bible, honey. You think the teenagers are janked up? We've been janked up for years and years and years and years and years and years and years. The teenagers today are not any more janked up than the teenagers back in the Bible. Okay? All teenagers are janked up. The world's not worse than it was back then. It's not getting worse and worse and worse. No, it's been terrible. It's been terrible. The only thing that's different is people are in the judgment stages of thinking it's worse than it was. Oh, back in my day, if we'd have done that, Mama would have got that razor strap out and blistered our tail. No, it's still terrible. It's been terrible. Read the Bible. There's nothing different. There were homosexuals in the Bible. Jesus ate with them. Jesus ate with the sinners. I'm a snotty-nosed girl today. I hope, first of all, that you have heard my heart today. The crying out is trying to make everyone be friends. It's terrible. It's terrible. And all these little innocent children come to my farm and they want to be friends. And mom and daddy are just like me. Hey, you don't need to date a white girl. You don't need to date a black guy. They're just like me. They're the robots. They're the robots doing exactly what mom and daddy told us. Stop. Stop. Pause and get in their shoes. And when someone attacks you and you don't understand, don't just go get a new watch, okay? Stop, pause, and go, let me break this down. What is this? What are they trying to tell me? They're saying, Judy, you have no clue what you're talking about, saying that your town is not a sundown town because you are white. Well, you know what? They're exactly right. I don't know what I'm talking about because I am white and I'm accepted in my community. But it's not that I should fire back. Well, I'm not accepted in your community. Is that what I need to do? That's opening up a can of worms. What you have to do is when you get in someone else's shoes, we're not trying to fire back at them. We're trying to feel what they feel. And when I get in the moment and get in their shoes, I'm like, okay, this is what it feels like. I don't blame them. I can see where that's uncomfortable. And I can't change everyone's mind. And I wished I was big enough to go do a speech. I wished I was Martin Luther King. I do. I wish I could go. Listen, quit talking about. I need to get on the news. I need to get on the news, and I need to not talk about Steve's farmhouse. I need to talk about this janked up world and get my preaching sticks and go like this on the news. This holiday season, you have choices. To me, sitting it out is being stuck in your ways. The ways mama taught you, daddy taught you. I'm not saying what mom and daddy didn't, all things did, weren't right or whatever. But sometimes your parents teach you because that's what they were taught by their parents. And some of those things are a generational curse. And you have the power to stop the generation curse, like the generation curse of, I don't know, divorce or alcoholism or, racist, those things, those generation curses that you're the robot. Stop today and dance. Dance means go, why do I think the way I think? Is it because I don't know any better? Is it because I'm not getting in someone else's shoes to see what they feel like? Is it because I'm talking too much and not listening? What is it? What's causing me to be the way I am today? And once you come to the realization of knowing why, stop the generational curse and dance. Open your arms and love with all your heart. I'll see y'all Wednesday. Sorry I was a crybaby today, but it needed to be said. Bye, y'all.